Hey, this is a tutorial video on a very basic Tai Chi walk that I've been teaching students lately. It's not the most martial thing ever. It's not anything super fancy, but it's the best method I've found currently to get people feeling more comfortable with the walking. It's based off of a basic Yang style walk, and I'm going to cut to videos shortly about it, but I wanted to give you a little bit of context before I just show you a video and you go, cool, don't know what it is. When you're doing a Tai Chi walk or a Tai Chi form, there's usually a line that you're following, and that's going to get way more complicated if we go into that more, but for the basic purposes of this video, let's say we're starting here and our goal is here. It's a straight line. But in a Tai Chi walk, a lot of other martial art walks, advancements, however you want to think about it, we're rarely just going to walk straight forward towards our goal. There's usually some sort of diagonal movement to it to kind of, the martial thing being like you want to get out of the way. So if I'm walking just straight for you, I'm going to get hit. And so a lot of the walking stuff will usually have a forward element as well as a twisting element, so represented by these little branches out. So it's going to again make more sense once you see the video clips, or hey, I might stitch it in between. I don't know what I'm going to do. But when we're walking, we're usually going into a bow stance of sorts. Now, a bow stance, there's a lot of different kinds. Again, we're going very basic here. Is the back foot is angled out 30, 45 degrees. Everybody's different because everybody's hips are slightly different. Again, I'm not going to get into that. Just think roughly angled out while the other foot's facing forward. So this is representing a larger bow stance, and this is representing a transition point, but you can kind of think of it as a bow stance as well, in that there's still that angle. There's still one foot going out of the angle and the other foot's going straight forward. Now, when we're doing this walk, we'll be mimicking these two postures over and over.
Another thing you're going to see in the clips is me rocking. I'll rock forward with my weight into my front leg, and then I'll rock into my back leg and bring up my front toes. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we're kind of shifting our center of balance, our center of gravity, forward and back in our movement. Now, there's a reason for this again, which I might get into, but we'll see. I just want you to have a general idea that, like, if this is my center mass, or where most of my weight is, as I shift forward, it goes forward, kind of that rocking forward. And then when I shift back, it comes back and settles. So either way, whether it's forward or back, see, I'm gonna have to tip the pen down to make the ring move on it. You still have this little bit of sinking, raising and sinking, raising and sinking. So we want to have that little feeling of forward, rock back, forward, rock back. When we rock back, we bring up our front toes, like I said. And the reason for that is now that my weight's mostly in my back leg, I'm able to have my front leg be more mobile, as in bringing up my toes, and able to rotate the ankle more freely without injuring the knee. Now, over time, different styles will have there be weight in the moving foot still, and like that's super cool. We're not there yet. We're not there right now. We're here just very basic. Whatever the weight is mostly in, that foot stays still. The moving foot's going to be the light weight. And then once we move that light foot, you can pour the weight back forward, just back forward, that's not really helpful. Forward. Now the front leg is heavy. The back leg is free to move in. Last thing I'm going to talk about is the hands. And you want to think of like your upper body and the hands as following along with your lower body center and mass area, down a little bit below your belly button. Like that's the core bit. That's what's moving. That's the ring, so to speak, that's sliding. The hands, upper body, are just kind of following along. One of the ways you can think about this is like, I know I have a bunch of stickers, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the water in here. Now, if I'm still, the water's pretty still. It takes a little while to chill out, much like the hands. But as I move, one forward, side to side here, what we see, and then if I slowed this down, super cool slow-mo, you see me push this to the side, the water would come up and crash and then come back down, and same thing for over here. So the water is following the direction of the container, right? So not moving the water at first, I'm moving the container and the water is following. That's the same thing with the hands. You want to think, I stepped out with my body, step forward with my body, my hands follow. Oh, I shifted back with my body, my hands pulled back. So the hands, you can kind of, and upper body, you can kind of think of as the water in the container. So we are moving our lower body, our center, through our core and hip area and legs. We're moving this, and the water is following along. Now notice how the water has a little bit of a lag. So when I'm doing this, you'll see it in the video a little bit. I try not to do it too much at first, but kind of the hands are a little bit secondary. They kind of catch up after I've moved. And that's the kind of looseness that we're going for, because we're trying to lead from the core. Now the second thing about the hands is you're going to be doing a big circle and a small circle. And you can just attach it to the step you're taking. So if I'm taking a big step, I'm going to have a big circle. If I'm taking a little step in, that's going to be a small circle. So just like this has a lot of movement versus that is a little movement. I get a little bit of the water versus a big one. So when you're doing this movement, it's very, you can think of it as from your core, you're taking up a beach ball or like a Nerf ball, whatever it is. You bring it up, and out, and come back in. So it's start off high and low, come back in. And we're trying to keep this very simple. But when you take that big step forward, which you'll see in the video, I'll have a big circle in front of me. So I'm like trying to make a circle with the ball or with a water bottle. That can work too. And then when I take a smaller circle after I pull back and bring that toe out, we'll do a small circle. The main reason we're doing this is try and loosen up the upper body and get the feeling for the upper body following the lower body, and to keep things more relaxed. That's the biggest reason I have my students doing this right now. So let me know if anybody has questions, because I'm sure there will be. This is already probably a really long video, but yeah, let me know and I'll try to answer them.